Well, this side's all done. Those rockers are not tight. They're just kind of on there. Went and got this button here. Let's bump the starter over. I got to get number one to top dead. Easiest way for me to do that is just pull the spark plug out, stick my finger over the hole. I'll feel the compression. You know, I can get it close enough that way. Little helpful article online. I'll post it right here. It shows, bring number one to top dead center, which ones you can tighten. I'm only going to do this side. This is 2, 4, 6, 8. Number one's over there. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Let's get this sucker in the air and this shit hooked onto the starter. I stuck my head under there and looked. This lifting pads are going to hit the frame rails. This old car ain't never been picked up like this before. See how she likes it. See that? Frame rail. I'm not doing anything crazy. Don't worry. Ooh, she's leaking some oil. Pretty bad. Coming from... shit. It's all wet up there. I better put valve cover gaskets on this thing. Anywho, it's got kind of a weird frame. It's got parallel frame rails like that. But it's also got this big X in the middle, like an old Impala. It's weird. Yeah, some hot rodding stuff right there. I don't know if you'd call this a hot rod, street rod, I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of neat. It's got disc brakes on it. It's still got the old I-beam. It's a dropped I-beam. I don't know how many inches it's dropped, a lot. These old cars were pretty high. Remember that Oldsmobile I said I had, that the motor's now in my Cadillac? That's the steering box from it. Still got the old... Still got the baby buggy type spring in the front. Really doesn't ride too bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Kind of a crude shock setup. It's got these big old, I don't know what you call them, radius arms. Go into this big ass plate, cross member. But what you're looking at, that's a 200 R4 tranny. And I've never held this car to the floor because the torque from that 400, that 200 ain't gonna like it. But because of space and whatnot, a 700 wouldn't fit in here. It's way too close to the floor. This thing is still all stock metal. It's all steel, all 46, and they didn't want to cut the floor out to put a 700 in there, so they just put a 200 in there and take it easy. The back used to have the baby buggy spring like the front, but it's converted to parallel leafs, and I think that's out. That's a 10 bolt out of an 80s Monty Super Sport, out of a G body. Somebody will be able to tell by looking at that. I believe that's 80s G-Body Super Sport. Oh yeah, that's it. That's the underside of this car. That's pretty much the walkthrough. Kind of cool. Modern air conditioning, overdrive transmission, real cruiser, but still rocking a solid straight axle in the front with disc brakes. Something that's kind of neat if you think about it. This is a 46. I was born in 83. This thing's probably been a street rod since before I was born. It was an old car when I was born in the 80s. You know, and that's kind of neat, man. The reason it's set up the way it's set up is just that reason. It's been a street rod a long time. This was put together before you could buy everything out of a catalog. This was put together when you had to go to the junkyard and get parts from this and parts from that and all that shit. And it's for your hot rod. It's kind of cool, man. Kind of cool. All right, let's hook that starter on. I'm just going to hook this guy on the little wire for that starter. Alrighty, folks. That's hooked onto the starter. I got the other end of this hooked onto the back of the alternator because I know that goes back to the battery. Battery's in the trunk. Otherwise, I would just hook this right to the battery. And now we can crank. Yeehaw. I'm going to go pull number 1 spark plug out, stick my finger over the hole, crank it, get it up to top dead center. We'll tighten those things down. Alright. Number 1's on top dead center. So according to that list, we could do the exhaust on 4 and 8. So let's do the exhaust on 4 and 8. It's 2, 4. Number 4. That would be the exhaust because it's directly in front of the exhaust hole. It says to tighten it down until that push rod, tighten it while you spin that push rod. When it stops spinning, just when it stops spinning, give it a quarter turn, and that's it. Alright, I can just wiggle it right there. So now I'm going to go a quarter turn. I'm just looking at the writing on my socket for a quarter turn. There you go. That's it. That's lashed. Okay, that was the exhaust on 4. Okay, I can move it again. Let me go a quarter turn. That's it. And that's it, folks. That's how this job's going to go. I'm going to go around and tighten the ones I can. I'm going to start on that side. Same procedure. I know valve seals ain't anything exciting, but it is a cool car, so I brought you along. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Peace.